Tale of the Turg. One eye opens off the other, and I took a big breath of stale morning air. Following thought uproariously sounded through my head. Why no window open? As this thought entered and exited my head, I looked through the window. There was some sort of crystalline white substance falling from the clouds in the sky. I said out loud, to no one in particular, "Why white thing go ground?" These ponderings often filled my mind, and I sometimes feel like a fish in the ponderings of life, wanting to cure myself of this debilitating curiosity. I reached my hand out to catch this strange white thing-a-ling. I became startled by the sudden piercing sound of something crashing. Looking at my surroundings, I noticed the window in front of me being broken, with coldness creeping up my arm as it was sticking through the window. Another of life's questions appear in my magnificent head. How no glass there, if glass was there? Scared and alone, I started to move towards the adjacent room with the pace of greased lightning. As I entered the living room, I looked around. There were many easels, an open floor plan, with no walls between the kitchen, bathroom, and living room. The room also had many plants, a bin, and there were many windows in this accursed house. But I saw something on the wall. The painting of the dear leader once again inspired me. Next to it was a charcoal-colored couch. I slowly started moving towards the couch. Once again, alone and still scared, I wanted someone to hold me, to comfort me and to help me calm down. I realized that this would involve me doing something that will be quite burdensome. I would have to find my phone. This will be my quest to Everest or the moon. I choose to find my phone in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of my brain cells and skills. Because that challenge is one that I'm willing to accept, one that I'm unwilling to postpone. I start my search, as anyone would, looking through my bin, whilst shuffling through all the how to use a smartphone for dummies pamphlets. I finally found my phone where I always put it, in the bin. Now the second challenge begins. How does one use this thing? Pressing the button on the bottom of the phone seems to have yielded some sort of result. The flickering on the screen might indicate intelligence. This might be one of those smartphonies. Another try was even more successful. I can now navigate this wonder of technology. My mission, however, was still clear. To call the one person who can help me, the one person who may be able to salvage this day of glorious horror. I will call default, and my day will become good. When I finally found default in this maze of a phone, I pressed the button with a hue of green, hoping this would be the calling function. Once more, for the second time this day, there's a loud sound emanating from my close vicinity. After a couple of moments of horror, I realize that it's only the phone making the noise. When the sound subsides, I can hear the monotone voice of an angel. It was default, and she answered with these words of love. Hello, this is default. Panic suddenly struck me. How does one speak with a beloved friend, being someone who's quite good when improvising, and who just hours ago had been asleep? I quickly responded, Why is your sleeping tonight? Sleep is necessary, she replied with the most beautiful of monotones. Stumbling to find words, I said something that always seems to bring joy to people. Turg, turg, turg. The silence following this was as scary as any previous piercing noise. After what felt like a whole game of Mario Kart, Default finally responded with, Okay. Following this, there was a tone, and after this, Default no longer answered me. There was no more responses. Unbeknownst to me, the call had been terminated. The mission and the subsequent conversation had served as an adequate distraction from the woes of my life. I was now ready to face the world once more, to the door and beyond, as it were. When I reached the door, with endless opportunities on the other side, the opportunities of the globe and the universe, mere centimeters away, one thing came to mind. This thing has to be shared with the world and what's beyond. I open the door and am hit with the cold, fresh air, the ground lined with something white and glittering that seems to cover the entire world. I exclaim in wonder, Turg!